Hi, I'm Kelvin Mann. We often miss opportunity to share real, true success stories. We decided that fatherhood should be shared in a successful way. We ran out and we started gathering stories about things fathers go through to be dads. It is some amazing stories that should be told. And what's very interesting is these stories all have impactful journeys. It's not easy becoming a dad. Today we have a lot of success with fatherhood. Fathers being very involved, black fathers being the most involved, and fatherhood being also the cause of many angst and issues. But more importantly, you're going to enjoy learning how fathers become dads. Check out this story.
My name is Larry Phillips, and this is my fatherhood story and journey. My fatherhood journey began in 2015, finding out that someone I dated was pregnant, and I took the responsibility of being a father. I was hopeful that everything would work out. We had a talk in the beginning. She asked me what I wanted to do. Like, we're going to be co-parenting. That was opposed, but we kind of worked through that, at least so I thought. My daughter is born July of 2016. This journey starts, I decide to put my career on hold to be a father full time. So I really was only working part time so that I could be available and have my daughter with me while her mother was going to work. Even driving her down to be breastfed. All her appointments, all her checkups. Thankfully, I have a mom who has been very supportive. So even when I wasn't working that often, the monies that I didn't have, she helped out a great deal so that I could keep providing for my daughter. And I always was optimistic that me and my daughter's mom would be able to coexist, and things would, shake out, work themselves out, because our families were at that point starting to come together. My mom, her mom, and so it seemed as if things would, be okay. There's been some challenges, of course. Not that I didn't know or was aware that these challenges would happen. I was just always hopeful that they would be avoided. Unfortunately, it always felt at different times like my daughter was being used as a pawn in order for her to have leverage and control of the situation. Unfortunately, I had to file a motion maybe 7-8 months after my daughter was born, because she kept her from me for a week. Mad at me for, I don't even remember what she was mad at me about, but that was the first time I really felt like, okay, like I got to be able to do something, because this could happen repeatedly, and like, let me see what I can do about it. Go down to front of the court, file the papers, and then for the sake of not having to keep going back and forth in front of the court, and kind of keep her at bay in a sense, it happened repeatedly afterwards, where she would be mad about something if I didn't do something that she wanted. She would keep my daughter away as almost like punishment. And this happened quite a bit, but I just decided not to say anything, based on conversations that I had with my mom and my brother, my best friend, who was also my daughter's godfather. And we felt like at that time that would be the best route to take, and that it would bring about a change in her. And so 2019, the woman in my life who was now my wife, we started dating, and within a few months after we started dating, we had decided that we would be dating exclusively. I had already started planning to, the next steps, like we would spend our life together. And so, of course, my next step was, okay, you need to meet my daughter. And, she already had a child from her previous marriage. And me being able to witness how she co-parented gave me, in a sense, some confidence and a hope that, I would be cool. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. I did everything I needed, got the paperwork. We had to carry paperwork in our car, so if we get stopped, they know that we're going to this job, right? And I did this job for a week and a half, and my daughter's mom, her concern was that because of where I was going in and out of, that I would be putting myself and, of course, our daughter in harm's way, and possibly even her, because if my daughter gets sick, considering at that time she was coming to me every day because I was helping her with virtual school. The last thing I wanted to do was get anybody sick. We didn't have too much info on COVID at the time. It was still kind of sketchy, and I was nervous. The last thing I wanted to do was get my daughter sick or cause anybody else to get sick. Simultaneously, during that time, my fiance ended up getting sick, and before she got sick, she got a warning from her job. Hey, we had somebody that was in the office who ended up having COVID. So, we're quarantining everybody in the office, and then you guys need to go get tested. And so I felt like I did my part in communicating that to my daughter's mother. I gave the info that I had at the time. A few weeks go by. I've already now left this job that I had so that I could keep us safe. I was trying to figure out how to get unemployment and that type of thing. And at that point in time, it wasn't even being offered to business owners, gig workers, and that type of thing yet. So it was doing stuff that a lot of people probably don't even know you're dealing with. Like, nobody knew I was dealing with stuff with her because I never put it out there that I was having any issues. You know what I'm saying? Because I always kept it about my daughter. I never saw it being to my advantage to be on social media or going to people saying, "Hey, she doing this, she doing that," and that's really not how I operate in general. I don't think anything good comes from that, and so even now, I'm still not going and trashing her to people. Not going around telling people she did this, she did that. This is really the first time that I am, revealing some of this. There's other things that happened even in the past prior to my daughter even getting here, because we actually dated for a year. In the first, we had two situations where, she attacked me and ended up being spun a different way. And I just kind of just let it be, because at the time I just didn't want the drama, to be quite honest. And I was just rebuilding my career again, because a year prior to us dating, all of my equipment got stolen. So I was really starting from ground zero, trying to build my business back up, get back into DJing and doing events. And during that whole process, I let a lot of things happen that I probably shouldn't have let happen. And so, hindsight, it's always 2020. You always look back at things retrospectively, like, I could have done this differently. I just wasn't in the place mentally or emotionally to make better decisions, or to get out of a situation that was toxic, and then it ultimately ended up, with us, having a child together, which is fine. I love my daughter. It's the best gift that I've ever received, and so in spite of all of these things, I'm hopeful that things get better. But if you are somebody that's going through something like this, keep your head up. It's okay to tell your story. It's okay to ask for help. I know it's not popular. It's not always seen as manly or masculine for you to be going to somebody complaining about what someone has done to you, or even expressing your emotions and how it affects you. Like, this has affected me a lot. My wife has had to comfort me quite a bit, over these 2.5 years. And, it created, very stressful situations at times. And just, I had never been away from my daughter for that long, so to go 7 months without seeing her, that was really, really, really hard. It was really hard. And so I'm thankful that my daughter is still, healthy. She's still happy. I'm thankful that, my wife loves her the way that she does. We have a great support system between her mom and my mom, her godfather, her uncle. So a lot of people have pitched in. There's been a lot of people who were witnesses to things, but I chose not to get them involved. And I'm hoping that I don't have to get others involved. But, there are people who know things about this situation. But I just want to make sure that men, fellas, it's okay to get help. It's okay to share your stories, especially if you are seeking solutions. So I don't want to be at war with my daughter's mom. I'm still hopeful, and I pray that there comes a day where we can be amicable, and that the focus is really on our daughter so that she can thrive continue to thrive, because she's a really, really amazing little girl, really, really bright. And I want to make sure that she doesn't have to go through any of the pitfalls, any of the traumas that her mother and I have had to deal with in the past, even before, we dated. So, so again, my name is Larry Phillips. This is my fatherhood story. I just want to encourage other men to tell theirs, because you can really help somebody else.
Man, what a story, right? And the story continues as the young man has shared the things he's gone through, and prior to it ever being an issue. But the fact that he hung in and really constantly pursues the relationship with his daughter. There are so many amazing stories. Coming up soon, you'll see another story that will it's endearing, and it's also special. Beautiful outcomes. So we thank you for joining the Fatherhood film, the stories that fathers go through to be as dads. Thank you.